Now we're going to go over to Tracy Brown Howard. I've been able to officially be able to say it again. Tracy Brown Howard, and meet the McCains.
You know, I'm waiting on my theme music. Okay.
So Dion's going to give you his theme music when Dion wants to give you the
right.
theme.
Okay. So we're not going to even worry about our theme music. I know he's going to do me, though. All right. Today on Meet the See? That's all right. Okay. So today on Meet the McCains, getting past problems to the solutions in marriage.
Okay.
In most marriages, there are times when the relationship does not seem to be working. Most married people consider divorce at that time or at some time in their marriage. Some people do not consider divorce but suffer needlessly. So my first question today is it natural for marriages to get stuck?
Bleep, bleep, yes. Marriages get stuck in a rut. And it's like most people say your first year, your hardest. You go through the 7-year itch. Then you go through the 7-year and say, oh, we finally gelled with each other. You go through the decade period and wonder, why am I still with this person? That's the first decade. But, yes, people do get stuck within, their marriage, and they need help to get out of that rut. And help usually comes by communication with one another, because most people who are stuck, when I say stuck, and that's in disagreement, having a lot of problems, they turn away from each other. They don't talk to each other. They talk to everybody else about their problem, but they don't talk to one another to solve the problem.
Yeah, it is definitely a yes that relationships get stuck. But that's a part of the growing pains of relationships, the growing pains of marriage, because you're getting into, there's an old song that says, getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
As they still in your identity?
I think the song says, getting to know you like me, something like that. It's like, do you like me and I like you? And so that's a part of the growing pains. Relationships do get stuck. You just have to be able to find a way to get the wheel moving again, to get the relationship moving again. And a lot of times that just means sitting down and communicating with each other to find out what caused the relationship to be stopped at that situation, and find ways to communicate, either with a counselor or with some friend that's not going to be biased on one side or another, that can talk to you about, ways of being able to get beyond that. Typically, a person who's in a relationship for 2 years could probably talk to someone who's been there for 10 or for 15, and they can kind of guide them through those situations where they get stuck.
I want to add to that before Tracy go on, but to make matters worse, most of us develop an automatic way of reacting to the behaviors we do not like in our partner. And so those automatic reactions often irritate our partner and make things worse. Like, for example, if Rick and I'm going through something, a problem, and he's not answering the problem the way, giving me a solution the way I think he should give it, as he always say, watch your face. I'm rolling my eyes at him because it's an automatic response like, okay, here you go again. He not hearing me, he not understanding that. So we do have to watch those automatic responses that we actually speak louder with our actions than our words. And that's when that silent treatment come in too.
And the fact is, even if I tell her something, she ain't gonna listen anyway. It doesn't matter. And that gets you a little stuck sometimes, but we'll go to the next question.
Well, you know what? Actually, let's talk about that then. How can you interrupt your automatic reactions with understanding?
Okay.
Okay, then rather than get angry or argumentative with the person, when your partner does something that irritates you, like most of us partners do, they irritate us. Consider whether your partner's doing something that makes a lot of sense to him or her. Like I always try to get Rick in my head, but to me, it's I'm right in what I'm doing. I'm trying to prove to him that I'm right, or to show him, to get him to understand why I'm doing something a certain way. And 9 times out of 10, you just think it'd just be me doing it.
Yeah. So, Tracy, give me that question again, because I'm just listening to her answer. I want to see if this is going to work for me.
Okay. I want to ask you, how can you interrupt those automatic reactions with understanding?
Again, it takes time, because, people are programmed at a certain period of time. It's just, like the thing says, I'm a song person. no way to control it, completely automatic. Things happen automatically. We have an automatic defense mechanism that we do to protect ourselves and the response that the people are going to give. And so if it's something that we automatically know that we're not going to like, that defense mechanism comes in to say, hey, I don't like that, via by word, expression, or even silence. We have to be able to say to ourselves that even though we know that's going to come, we have to be able to have an offset to that. I'm going to get mad if he says this word, but before I say something, I need to do this. And so you've got to have an offset, an equalizer that says to yourself that until I can get to the point where I'm not going to let that automatic just stay to a point where I'm just going to throw it out there, I need to find an offset or an equalizer that I can say, well, I didn't really like how you approached me or what you said, but I still believe that we need to resolve this issue. So you've got to have that equalizer that's going to offset who you are until you can change to a point where it doesn't become an automatic situation.
Okay, so would you recommend not inflaming the situation by dwelling on the problem?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I recommend not inflaming the situation because arguments can get heated. Problem solving could only be solved if two people would listen to one another instead of just, as you said earlier when we were talking about frustrations, instead of just focusing on she's not talking to me correctly. So in your mind, you're not even talking about the problem anymore. So why inflame the situation? It's like stick with one thing, which means going back to you need to prioritize certain problems or certain issues that you're going through.
Yeah, definitely you don't want to inflame a situation. I mean, think about, how it feels to your body when you have something that is inflamed. It's irritable. It bothers you continuously. And so when you inflame a situation, it's like putting a continuous problem out there that's going to bother you in your thoughts, in your sleeps, everywhere you go. And so you don't want to inflame this situation. And in a lot of cases, some people know that they can, and so they do it purposely. And you don't want to do that either. What you want to do is that if you get to a point, which is going to happen in a relationship, let's not lie to each other, a situation is going to come where it's going to get inflamed and you're going to have an issue. Some people use this, and I think out of context, don't go to sleep on your wrath. Don't go to sleep, when you're angry. Mm-hmm. There are times that you may just want to walk away from that situation.
Before you kill a person.
Right. Not necessarily before you kill a person, because we're a Christian show. We know Betty Shabazz is a little bit, unsaved over here, but before you get to a part where you're going to be angry with each other, that you're going to say something negative. And so there is a good time to maybe walk away before it gets inflamed, and then maybe at a later time be able to talk about it. And in some cases, I'll add this: have a key word that you can use, that you don't just walk off on the person. Brenda and I have done that sometimes. We just walk off, and it inflames the situation more. You just say, "Hey, baby, we got to walk away for right now because I can't," and allow that person to do that, because if you don't, you just make matters worse.
Right, definitely. Well, hopefully that's helped people.
I know it helped me. I know how to deal with Brenda.
Right, and getting past problems to solutions in marriage.
Amen.
And next week we'll have more on meeting the McCains.
All right. So today, the inspirational corner.